Be in your moment. Ask your doctor about Ibrance, a Pfizer product.
Clippers basketball lives on KTLA 5.
Now at noon, convicted murderer Rebecca Grossman is facing new accusations of illegal conduct from jail. Thanks for joining us for the KTLA 5 News at Noon. I'm Glenn Walker.
And I'm Lou Parker. Grossman is awaiting sentencing after her recent conviction in the deaths of two young brothers in Westlake Village.
Prosecutors now want her phone privileges taken away. KTLA 5's Lauren Lister live in the newsroom with the developing details. Lauren.
Glenn and Lou, prosecutors filing this motion. They want Grossman moved to a part of the jail system with no access to phones or visitors except for her attorneys and where her mail is checked, accusing her of working the phones from Twin Towers Jail, where she awaits sentencing, to encourage illegal conduct and alleging her conduct is potentially illegal too. Grossman is facing 34 years to life in prison. Last month, she was convicted of killing two young brothers, Jacob and Marcus Gander, 8 and 11 years old. They were hit in a crosswalk back in 2020 while she was speeding in her Mercedes down a residential street in Westlake Village. In court documents, prosecutors allege she's been using her phone privileges behind bars in improper and potentially illegal ways. This includes trying to get her husband and daughter to contact witnesses and get them to change their testimony so she can try to get a new trial. Prosecutors allege she's also had a private investigator reach out to jurors, which is not allowed, showing up unannounced at the homes of three of them. Their addresses are supposed to be kept private. A criminal defense attorney telling KTLA the new allegations could influence her sentence.
I think Rebecca Grossman's actions are those of a desperate woman who is facing potential sentence of the rest of her life in prison, and she is looking to do anything and everything to change that future, including breaking the law again.
During her trial, Grossman's lawyers tried to suggest that her ex-boyfriend, former Dodgers pitcher Scott Erickson, was the one who hit and killed the two boys and that she was following him as they sped through the crosswalk in separate cars after meeting for drinks. The jury did not believe that. They convicted Rebecca Grossman. Prosecutors say from jail, though, Rebecca called her husband asking him to persuade her ex-boyfriend to admit he was responsible. On the recorded call saying you should call Scott Erickson and tell him to get on a video and that he needs to confess. Her husband saying, I know he needs to confess, but right now I can't even talk about the case. And Rebecca eventually saying, tell him to make a video and confess. I have a family. Prosecutors also say the victim's family received a letter from Rebecca Grossman earlier this month. They are asking a judge to bar her from contacting them. I reached out to their attorney and Grossman's as well. Nothing yet. A court hearing is set for Friday. That's the latest live in the newsroom. Glenn, back to you.
All right, Lauren Lister, thank you. Developing news, former Trump White House aide Peter Navarro has reported to federal prison in Miami. The former UC Irvine professor will serve a 4-month sentence for contempt of Congress. The U.S. Supreme Court denied his request yesterday to stay out of prison. Navarro did not cooperate with the January 6th congressional investigation when he refused a deposition and refused to turn over documents to Congress in 2022. Navarro said President Trump invoked executive privilege, precluding him from discussing or sharing anything related to the inquiry. He was convicted of contempt of Congress last year. He is appealing the conviction. Legal experts tell CNN that Navarro is expected to spend 90 days behind bars, given federal laws that allow for early release of certain inmates.
A judge has denied former President Donald Trump's bid to block Stormy Daniels and Michael Cohen from testifying in his New York hush money trial. Yesterday's ruling denies a motion to prevent two key witnesses from taking the stand. Adult film star Stormy Daniels alleges Trump paid her to keep quiet about an alleged affair. Prosecutors say the former president then falsified documents to cover up those payments. Former President Trump has pleaded not guilty and denies those claims. The trial could begin next month.
More than 3 years after the attack on the U.S. Capitol, a conservative social media influencer has been arrested in Orange County for her alleged involvement. Isabella Maria DeLuca is charged with 4 misdemeanor counts, including theft of government property. Prosecutors say that she entered the